Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolute unk status. There we go. Good fucking break off from the guys. Alright. Chat. My question, is there a process? No, they just do bots. They just shoot bots. 200, 300 bots. Alright, chat. When I talk about Skyline P1, if you get a clean wave, what do I always say to bump out or fill first? What is the flow? Someone in my chat, tell me what the flow is. What should be the flow? First answer, Optic win map 1. They do. But, let's take this into your games. What do you guys notice here? Let's get the brains working. First question of the day. Let's get the brains working. What do we think? What do I always say about the fill from this side of the map to push through to P2? So I'm saying when we come in from this side of the map and you're making kills, what do I always say? You want to make sure you're filling it in first. No, not filling right. That is one of the last things you can pick up, and that is going to be based on your spawn. Think about it. Let's look at this, guys. Chat. What do you notice here? So keep watching this.
COD again, but this will be a treat. Into it we go, Mercules. Who got so much of.
What do you notice? Hey, what's good, Mateo? Mateus, my boy. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Mateus, comment ça va? How you doing, brother? Mon frère, comment ça va? So they have P2. What do you notice Kyler's just done here, chat? So ignore Toronto. We're looking at Optic's perspective here, chat. What did you notice Kyler doing? And what do you notice number 2 doing? I'm good. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Would you guys think? Come on. This is easy. This is easy. I'm talking from a flow perspective, chat. Guys, Kyler is bumping out to get top plat. They're trying to control both sides of the map. And the reason you want your last guy to pick up kitchen is because based on where he's spawning, either here or for example like close here, like a no map progression spawn, will indicate where the last person is. Remember, where your spawn is giving you information of where people are. The reason why you can have the last guy doing it is because the guy in time can focus on it. This guy has plat, so he has a free life, and he can get specific information, and he can activate. Remember, guys, he can activate off that. He's filling in a power spot, and then he's filling in the furthest lane from a timing perspective based on his spawn. Right? Easy enough. Idea on these P1s is you're trying to flow through cat. So when it comes to breaking, yes, Kyler can cut bed. So when it comes to breaking here, chat, even when it comes to breaking hill, you want to make sure you're playing S1 and top first. Back down these power spots, process of elimination, right? Predict where they're going to be, back down these power spots, and then you can bang through time. Because then they're not watching over, the timings are open. Is number 4 blocking spawns in that position? Yes, he is. He is. As long as this guy isn't doing this. Because now you're in a position where it wants to force flip you out here. So, the further you push their side of the map, the further back he will then eventually have to play. S1. So S1 right here, XP bad is this is S1. This is top T, and this is P2, and this is like, you can call it like P2 stairs. We cut the guys first. Now, my question to you, chat, is let's forget Optic in this situation, right? Stairs 1, yes. So let's say Toronto have a full setup. There's something like this. You know, 2 top, pushing through cat, 1 guy time, 1 guy top plat. Why is it important to make sure if you're Optic, you're coming off spawn here? because of where this guy's spawning you, and you're trying to refill top first. Why is that important? Why is your flow really important off spawns? When it comes to breaking time, chat. So XP bad. Asku, Boyd, Tom, give me an answer here. Why you think control P1 and rotation to P2? So the first answer I like, but not necessarily controlling the rotation for P2. I'm good, Brighty. I'm good. Appreciate you asking. How are you? So we can get there faster. Okay, let's start thinking more in depth now, right? Let's say they have the power spots. Are you able to cross into hill reliably? No. So the reason why I think everyone should just hit kitchen and flip, to be honest, chaos. See, I think if we did that, we'd be sweet. So you see right here, chat, when you're anticipating how the enemy team is breaking, filling in the right lanes off spawn enable you to then back the right lanes down or right positions down to then be able to reliably hit hill. So now, for example, if you give a team fully set up plat, bang in through cat and top plat control, you can't just dive to hill. It's practically impossible to do that, chat. So you've got to start thinking one step ahead. As soon as Optic get wiped, you fill the right lanes first because you're predicting the enemies to set up in a certain way, right? To then set up that next break using the information that you have. So then right here, they hit top, they back him down, and then the third guy can dive onto hill reliably, or this guy can dive onto hill, right? So this is how we start to think one step ahead. But it all stems from Kyler pushing out Cat, playing for plat control, and then the same thing on this side is you can play for top first, back these guys down, and then use that bedroom progression to bang on time. Especially on these breaks, guys. When you're playing Call of Duty, predict when you're playing ranked. I want you guys to start predicting how you think the other players are going to be positioned. Everyone plays the same positions, right? Doesn't matter if you're a pro, an amateur, it doesn't matter. Most teams, most players will sit in the same spots. Start thinking and start predicting that to then enable your team to set up a break and make it easy for yourself instead of just head bashing something.
His success and his placement in the league because of Toronto Ultra themselves. More on that storyline later. But for now, a lovely start here.
You see how Ant's picking up top again?
Ultra themselves.
Look at Ant filling off spawn, right? So he doesn't see anything kitchen.
Because of Toronto Ultra themselves.
He fills up top. The last guy's going to spawn potentially here and then shift across.
But now, a lovely start here from the Optic lads.
Yep, spawns here, and now he's going to pick up kitchen. You see this?
As good as it gets right from the opening.
Very good. This is what we call flow, guys. Understanding what lanes you need to pick up based on where you're spawning, based on the information you're giving each other, and we're gonna listen. We're gonna have a listen in soon.
Jump Optic are captivating. They are on top of everything. Shotzi pushed out, and he might get dealt with, but already.
Chat. What do you notice that number one is doing? Tom, ask you. What do you notice? And Brighty, what do you notice number one is doing here? That is a lot different compared to, say, 2 months ago. What do you notice? That's very good.
Phenomenal.
Look at number one here. Oh, wait, hold on. Right, now you can see it, right? Now look at number one. So, I want you guys to tell me what you think number one does well and what he continues to do good.
Pushed out and he might get dealt with, but already phenomenal P1 time in P2. All that is Ultra's bread and butter. Optic.
He is picking up the open lane. Good. Lets the game come to him. Good. You see that, chat? This is Kyler we're talking about here. Look at the discipline he is playing with in order to pick up the longest route, to play his guarantee, to let the game come to him. Does not give himself as info and plays passive. So, yes, sure, he's not giving himself specific info, but look at the time on the clock, right? Look at the time on the clock. This is why this setup on P1 is deadly. You get someone pushed out here, someone on time, watching kitchen, someone S1 to help either side, and then one guy playing passive, you spawn him here. They're forced to take kitchen routes. Look at the way Kyler's playing, chat. Look at the way Hugh is playing this. Okay? Fantastic. He's not banging out kitchen to try and get a world star kill. He's playing his guarantee, understanding there's 25 seconds left or less, so teams are going to start maybe potentially taking routes based on where they're spawning, based on the info that they're getting from the guy P1. Fantastic right here. Very, very good from Kyler.
Currently have those spawns, but 30 seconds on a P1. This is as clean as it gets.
Oh, great start. Only a measly 10 seconds to go. The new hardpoint will appear on the
Good try.
now. Left-hand side. That's what we're going to next. Top office. It's a small space, not a lot of ways in, and again for Ultra, an incredibly strong start.
So I don't mind what Merc did. So we played something similar. So would you say it's good to have him in kitchen if P1 is just popped and then play more passive? Yes, especially if you're the last guy. Now, Bright, you have to be careful. If you're pushed out here, and you're here, and you accidentally peek this, there's a potential, depending on how far this guy's pushed out, you spawn him behind you, regardless if you're hard blocking. That's the only issue. You have to be careful with how passive you're playing kitchen if you have plat pushed out. If you don't have plat pushed out, then you can play aggro kitchen, because they're just going to spawn here. Or, based on it, wherever you are in the hill, they'll spawn like here. Okay, so you have to be very careful if you're going to push hard on like both sides. You push hard on one side, soft on the other to make sure you keep the game controlled. Kyler lets the game come to you, predicting where they're coming from, and then they play off that. Now, this is how we also play. This is how we also played the end of P1s going into P2. When you spawn here, that tells you, okay, they're pushing through this way, right? That's where the pressure's coming from. Remember, the spawn that you get will give you information of where they are, right? And then he can refill where required. They have top control, he can refill the left. As long as you push out kitchen, it denies this. You have info here, it denies this route, and you can take you can take Charles if you wanted going into the P2 transition. But when you have kitchen control on a P2 rotation and you spawn them like here, or when P2 pops you spawn them like here, you're funneling them one way. That's what we want to do. So that's a really heads up play from Merc here. But 4 needs to make sure he's playing the left, because that's where the pressure's coming from based on where he's spawning. And then go from there.
That's what we're going to next. Top office. It's a small space, not a lot of ways in, and again for Ultra, an incredibly strong staple of the success.
Nice, okay.
It's a small space.
Alright, chat.
Now, left-hand side.
Right here.
We're going to next. Top office. It's a small space, not a lot
so
of
right
ways
here.
In, and again
this is so good from Ant, okay? Why do you think Ant
Ultra
is pre-aiming this? Someone in my chat tell me what's good, Soga? I use Epic Pen. I use Epic Pen. Okay, so right here, chat. Why do you think Ant picks up the zip? Why do you think he picks this up? Why do you think he picks up zip? Based on Kyler spawn. Good, Fabio. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Yes. So as soon as Kyler says he spawns out, yes, good. Good, Tom. Good. This is now you guys are starting to think like pros. So right here, Kyler spawned out. So he's saying, yo, someone's got through. What's the info on the map? 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. They have info on 3 people. They killed 2, and 1 guy is on the time. Okay? Where's the last guy? Hey, we're looking for beans. Dashi has the left completely. Ant was just top. This guy just had the right. Process of elimination. Where do you think they're going to be? Taking an underground route. He loses the gunfight, but you can tell like Optic are so switched on. It's insane. They're instantly reacting.
An incredibly strong staple of the success they found here on the map.
Well, there's Beans making the impact, but traded out and contained.
Very good.
Backline presence, and you make sure you
nice. So right here,
again, back, but traded out
Hill's
and
white.
Contained.
You spawn here. No map progression spawn.
The backline presence.
When you spawn basically on top of a teammate, or you spawn closest to the hill, it's either the time is white or it's a no map progression spawn.
Make sure
one
you
of the
get
two.
Spawns, and again, as long as you don't let Ultra out rotate you to this position, you're in a good spot. 20-point lead. Optical.
Wow, this is good.
Right.
This is good.
That's 1.
You're in a good spot. 20-point lead. Optical run it up.
All right, you spawn tree. You spawn tree. Boom. Okay, you spawn tree. Bet they have pressure on this side.
Shotsy on the right.
Very good.
That's 1. Second man down.
Not
He's gonna
overheating,
play this
doing
one
his
a lot slower.
25%.
There's the pick up on the beans as well. Hard point now in the hands of Optic.
Nice, very good.
Control.
What the? What? Hold on, what the hell was this?
Hard point now in the man down low, but he's going to play this one a lot slower. There's the pick up on the beans as well. Hard point now in the.
So this right here,
Optic will run it up.
the monkey. Wait, Lioness, hold on. The monkey eats banana and the monkey never cramps. That's a good one. I like that. So right here,
Shotzi on the right.
this is another concept I keep on preaching, guys. What do you think is good about what Shotzi's just done here? Someone, Fabio, Tom, Lionize, Brighty. Tell me what you think is good with Shotzi getting the one, knowing the second one is there. What does he do? What does he do well right here? Have a think. So he gets the one. What does he not do? Yes, Saga, fantastic, fantastic. So ape mentality. So they don't ape here, Lionize, but he's weak. He comes it, and he's trusting his teammate. He trusts his teammate behind him to take the chal over him. He's doing his 25% right here.
Gets one. Second man down low, but he's going to.
Very good. Makes him OE. Very good. Very good,
Pick up
guys.
the beans as
Excellent.
well. Hard point now in the hands of Optic. Control. Whoa!
Now, look at where number one
Hard point
spawns.
now in the hands of
Look at where number one spawns. Because look at where that guy in the time in 8 are. So where you spawn, chat, and this is what I want you to do for ranked, is anytime you don't get the closest spawn to the hill, there's a degree of manipulation happening. That will tell you exactly where at least one player is, where the pressure could be. So you look at number one spawn here, he should be coming, yo, there's going to be either someone piano or someone on that side of time. Instant trade, fantastic, fantastic. This was crazy.
Whoa! The battle continues. Joe
Very good.
finds himself nothing but hook. Gets two. Optic is still in.
And this is as good as it gets right now. Every single player.
And you can, bro, you can tell Dashi's in flow because I swear the way he slide cancels around every corner and the way he's challenging is insane. Look at this. Look at him. He's slide challenging. He's gonna slide chal like every corner. Look at this.
Right now, every single
Slide.
player
He's just
on
sliding,
the
sliding,
fire,
sliding.
Cylinders, everybody positive. Big
Look at him.
Dashy 6 and 2 as well, and they're getting to roam. This
Look at him how he chals it. Look how he chals it. He's just cameraing everyone. Is Dashi in a power spot? Yes, this is a power spot. So ideally, some teams are different. You have different options, right? If you get a clean wave, some teams like to push out cat and force them spawn in here to then force them to take that route through kitchen into crossfires. Some teams like to bump out kitchen, spawn them top cat, and then get active denying P1, so then everyone else is just focusing in top cat. It doesn't necessarily matter how you play it. Just in the moment, chat, if you're the first guy and you're the furthest guy, you have to just make sure you're communicating what you're doing, because what you're doing is then going to affect where they're spawning. Where they're spawning is then going to affect the routes that they're going to take, okay? When you know what routes they're going to take, you can then position yourself for that. So right here, Brandon pushes out front. He'll be like, hey, potentially garden. They're going to be taking left routes. You can either make him OE. You can then either take Charles together. You have plenty of different options here.
Comfortable on the skyline. Virtually no contest
Nice.
has been able to
Do you see
roll
that?
through on the
Very
P2,
good.
And they are cleaning house.
The best.
Can you, chat, just visualize this. Imagine you're a player for Optic or Gentlemates, right? And every kill you guys are making, like every kill you make, the fans are screaming. Insane. Thank you for the tier 1 line, eyes. Appreciate you, brother. And every kill that these guys are making on Optic, on like Gentlemates, bro, instant dope. I'm hearing this, and I'm gonna challenge. I'm gonna play with confidence right here.
Dashi's looked all year long.
Okay,
1-2
right here.
Spree. Halfway towards the
So-
Hellstorm, but he means the mighty Kleenex.
Chat, there's two things that I say here, chat, okay? What's the situation right now? What's the situation? Someone explain to me, just download this information, think about the information. What information are you getting right now? Let's use prediction here. What are you seeing? What are you thinking if you were a pro player? What do you think, guys? They should route to P3 now. Lion Eyes, how should they rotate to P3 here? So Ultra have rotation, good. Toronto have rotation, good. Ultra have map control and rotation, good. Now, remember what we talk about. If you remember the red card for my regulars here, we should know or have an idea that Toronto have new. We're in a 4 versus 3 because one guy's going to be on scrap. Okay, so we're going to bump this guy out. 9 seconds left, right? We're assuming Toronto are going to have some variation like this. Some sort of setup like that, right? What do I always say? What do you end up noticing that Optic are doing? And what do we call that? What do we call it here? So look at number 2.
Halfway towards the Hellstorm, but he
So look at number 4 and look at number 2.
meets the mighty Kleenex. The Great Dane puts him down. Do hard point up. In the kitchen we go.
And it's this type of thing. If you got the lead, you can
What has number 2 done? Considering it's 5X's, you get the idea, right? So he's the first guy. Lion Eyes. XP bad, he's the first guy. When you are the first guy, it is your responsibility to determine if you take a long route to set up the play or not. So right here, chat, let's read the situation for what it is. So in the moment, you're saying, okay, we have scrap. It's a 4 versus 3 on new. We should know we do not have the timings to get to new. Because we've not made a clean wave. They're going to be in there. Hey, what's good, Camps? They're going to be in there, right, chat? So this is where you got to start thinking, right? If they're going to be in there, what are the most common spots people are going to play? Here, 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 a whole variety of spots. So, right, they have the power spots, meaning they have the advantages if you're trying to bang out from this side. So, when you're thinking one step ahead, 8 seconds left, Ant is taking a route to set up a break because he is predicting what Toronto are going to do. I'm seeing everything on the timeline. It's mind-blown. Is what it is, Camps. It is what it is. Well, whatever, right? So right here, they're taking routes in order to make their breaks easier. Now, Lion Eyes, this is a question for you. Why does the first guy taking a route to set up a break make it easy for the rest of his teammates? Why does it do that? And I want Lion Eyes, I want you to answer it. Why is him taking this route very important for the rest of his team? They are checked out thinking about him. Yeah, so I like the answer. Yes, so they're not. They might be checked, but the reason why they're checked is because they have to look for him. Look at what it's doing. Diverts attention. Fantastic, Saga. Fantastic, yes. So when you're on a pro team, you need to recognize the situation you're in. You recognize, hey, and this is Shotty in a nutshell, right? You recognize, hey, Toronto have new because of the timings, because of the spots you're going to predict them to have, because you don't have the numbers to do anything with it, right? To trade, unless you get scams or guarantees, but that's different. In this situation, they don't get scams, they don't get guarantees, so they need to set up a break for P3 with 8 seconds left on P2. So Ant is taking the route because they have the time to do so in order to set the game up for the rest of his team. Now, Optic have 2 options. They have 2 options. How do you guys think I love breaking hills? What is my magic number when it comes to breaking hills, chat? For you guys who know, what is my magic number? For my regulars out here. 3-1. You've got 2 options. It's you either 3-1 this way, or you 3-1 this way. You can either use the progression shots he has from cat and drop down, or you can use the diversion shots he has and ape time. It doesn't matter which one you do. So, yes, Asku, correct. 3-1, correct. So, that's such a heads-up play from Ant. Now, you could argue, right here, you could argue right here that Brandon can stay alive and the rest are going round to bang mid. Oh, what's 3 new? So essentially, Asku, whenever you're playing to break a hill, you basically want 3 people on one side of the map, basically taking the same fights, while the other guy is late pinching, blocking spawns, catching people, shifting off timings, stuff like that. Basically, one guy's on the other side of the map, 3 guys are taking the fights together, aping together, ape together strong, basically. So right here, Optic have basically what Optic could even do here is them 2 could help Cat and play for P1. So while Ant's taking this route, you put progression P1 and Cat, right? That way you can make Ant's pinch incredibly useful. And then right here, Brandon can literally just beg it here. He can go back here, play outer. Like they're gonna spawn him here, right? Every kill they make from mid, they'll spawn him here, right? And then help take Charles outer. That's what they could do here. Or they could just leave Ant alone. He's getting mixy with it, doing whatever he needs to. They group up. Dashy's watching outer, double inner, boom, easy. Slide to the pillar, slide across. One guy watching inner, Ant is then repinching. So the main point here, chat, the core point with this is the fact that when you recognize you don't have map control for new, or you don't have kills for new, there are the moments you take the long route in order to then break a setup.
Halfway towards the Hellstorm, but he meets the mighty Kleenex. The Great Dane puts him down. New hard point up. In the kitchen we go.
And it's this type of thing. If you got the lead, you can afford to take these routes. Now, you're going to read it if you're Toronto Ultra. You did not get the kill. Shotzi's buying at least time, and it gives you something extra.
You see that? Nice, dude. I see where they spawn? Now you take the fights together. What did you notice about 4 and 3, chat? What are 4 and 3 doing together? What do you notice? What do you notice right here that 4 and 3 are doing fantastic, chat? Holding hands. What do I call this? What do I call it? What is the name that I use? What are they doing together? Tradables. So they're taking the same fights. When you get into positions like this, chat, and you have hill and you're refilling through hill, you know exactly where they're spawning, which means you know exactly what routes they can potentially take. You know the timings of such routes. And when you know where the pressure is coming from, and the way you get pressure is by, like, you play confident for information. You play spots on the hill that can help guarantee information on your screen. I don't see anything here, therefore they've gone up top or they've gone round. Once you know where the pressure's coming from, chat, you fight together. You play irons and team fight together. This was perfectly done from Optic right here. Very, very well done. Them 2, insane work.
Says no. Well, Optic's still in time. Hercules looking for a few more. And Dashi over his shoulder.
And right here.
Angels over there, finding kills all over the place. They are.
Now, chat, another good thing about this. Another good thing. So I made a clip about this, right? This is when you get wall accusations on ranked. Facts. Facts, right? Another really good thing about this. So it's trusting the flow. What do you guys notice about what Ant's doing? So they're in a 4 versus 2. What does it mean, chat? What does it mean when you're in a 4 versus 2? What does that mean? Someone tell me. What does that? Someone in my chat tell me exactly what that means when you're in a 4 versus 2. You got numbers, right? When you get numbers, what do? You win and out-trade the others, numerical advantage. So what Ant's doing right here is trusting the flow. He is being, this right here is Ant being selfless. He is playing with speed. Chat, this is Call of Duty in a nutshell. When you get control of a hill during that wave, right? During a wave, this is the second wave, right? Exactly. So right here, this is what we call trusting the wave. When you have numerical advantage, When you're bouncing off what lanes your other teammates are playing from, you can play confident for information because you're getting what we call specific information. Specific information is information when you know exactly where someone is, and then you know the micro timing. It's not, oh, I think he's here, I predict he's here. It's no, I know he's here. When you're in a 4v2, you need someone to just run in first and die. Because what this does is this sets up his other two teammates for free kills. So look what Shotzi does here, chat. This is very good from Shotzi. He gets one, gets traded, but then look at Kyler. He's just playing the instant trade. Instant trade. So if you play with a degree of confidence when you have numbers on the hill, remember guys, look at what they do. They spawn here and they refill time. Refilling through time means you can cut lanes from the time. This is how you become efficient with your kills. When you're cutting lanes from the time and then you're taking fights together, you're going to win that wave. And then when you win that wave, you then know exactly where they're spawning.
Skill diffing right now. That is another 4-man.
So right here, boom.
Off the map. Ultra at this point. This is desperation. Just to make
So now, even more of an important distinction, chat. So Kyler and Shotzi are being selfless. They're trusting the flow. They're playing with speed, right, with numbers. But look at the time here, guys. Look at the way Kyler plays it. 30 seconds left. This is a big, big time. And chat, I always preach, if there's more than 30 seconds left on the clock, you can play the wave and let the game come to you. Meaning, when you have the kills, you have the map control, you can play any power spot you want. You can play any hybrid spot you want to help you play your guarantee for the next kill. You can iron up. You can play a preem. You can let Toronto be the one to make the first move, right? The reason why that's important is because think about it from Toronto's perspective. When they're coming off spawn with 30 seconds left, they still have to hit the time. When they're hitting the time and you're not giving them free kills or specific info, they have to clear everything. They have to say, oh, wait, you could be here, 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 here. You could be here. You could be potentially P1 based on where you're spawning. Or you could potentially be here, right? When you let the game come to you, it prevents enemy teams from doing what Optic did. From just running it down and playing with speed. When you have numbers, you can let the game come to you, and then you set up trades to then begin that team fight again. So Kyler is doing a fantastic job, and this is an improvement I have seen from this guy. I have watched hours and hours and hours of Optic because they were the best Vault, one of the best Vault hardpoint teams to copy like what they were doing, right? And you might see sometimes in Major 4 where Kyler might just bang it down to try and get kills, and then what that does is it causes them to spawn back here, and then now they have a pinch, right? This is an improvement from Kyler by letting the game come to him, by playing his guarantee, by ironing. Remember guys, we're on LAN. If you iron and you're in a good position, you're in a good position to fucking win that gunfight. Let the game come to you, get that information, use teamwork, then when they have numbers, activate and bang. Easy as that, chat. Easy as that. That's what this game is. Look how he's playing it. Boom. Now they have numbers. What's good? Deception. How you doing, fella?
The right side spawns. They're not getting any of the kills. They are getting outslayed down the line. And while Mercules has been comfortable, he already
and they still get the time. And then they flip. And look at this, chat. Look.
They're not getting any of the kills.
Trade. Trade.
Down the line.
Dead. He dies, but they're going to flip anyway. Because he's not blocking. And these were counter blocking. You see? You see, when you... This was one of my clips on the Vault, guys. Is for the first 30 seconds, if you let the game come to you, you can flip on your own terms. This game, from a spawn system perspective, can be very, very tricky. Meaning very, very sensitive, very, very twitchy. Meaning you push past their 50-yard line on the point with multiple people. If they're not hard blocking, they're going to flip out. They're going to flip out and then as a result, because they're not hard blocking, you're going to spawn in. Right? That's why if you control the chaos, you spawn them in a certain place, you understand the timings, then you play the kills, Let the game come to you. Oh shit.
Slow here from the Ultra Boys. Next counter attack is on here for Optic. Shotzzy finding at least one towards the approach.
Nice.
All of Ultra
Very good.
Soaking.
So this is what we call flow, guys. So the way our teams, the way most teams in Skyline play it, and we play it the same way, is on rotation to P4, you want to basically control this side of the map first. You can let teams hit the right. I appreciate you, Tom. Tom means a lot. Thank you very much, brother. Means a lot to me. Thank you. You can let teams hit the right because you have potentially layers. So chat, what do we call a layer? What is a layer? What is layering? What do we call layers? For my regulars in the chat, what do we call layering? What is that? What is layering? Come on, Tom, what do you think layering is? Lion Eyes, what's layering? Deception? Fabio, Tom, the other Tom, Asku, what do we think layering is? What does layering mean? Not necessarily stacking teammates. Pushing out a certain part of a map to cut it off. Expand, but why? 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 What does it do? What does it allow you to do? Good, Saga, good answer, but even more than that. No. Extra spawns if you die. Correct, Ferdy. So, guys, the whole point of layering means you are pushing a certain part of the map. If you push past far enough and you deny the furthest opponent, like the furthest progressed opponent, you have the ability to spawn up on the side of the map you want multiple times. Yeah, everyone's good. Everyone's sweet. So right here, the reason why teams will push out P1 and let you hit Garden is because you still have the potential based on where this guy is, and if you're counter blocking, so if you spawn him here, to still spawn here, and even spawn in here when P4 pops. So what you'll see teams do, chat, the first things that teams will try and pick up on the rotation to P4 is they'll push out P1, they'll push out top, and they'll push out bottom closet in order to deny teams from just banging through like this, forcing them to take this route here. Yes, sure, they might block this, but you're going to spawn here, or worst case spawn here, to then give yourself another chance, another life at killing where the pressure is coming from. This is what we call reading the pressure. So when you play hardpoint at the highest level, you're trying to put enemies in... Hey, greetings. You're trying to put enemies in a disadvantageous position. You're trying to put enemies to funnel. By controlling certain sides of the map first, this is what we call flow. Fill and flow, right? Think of it like a conveyor belt, guys. The first guy's job is to control the part of the map that you want. In order to control the part of the map that you want, will allow either to manipulate spawns in a certain degree or force the enemies to take certain routes against that, if that makes sense. Okay? So right here, if I'm playing P1 and I want P4 rotation, I'm pushing out P1 first, I'm going to get info kitchen, I'm going to spawn them here, and I'm going to get info top. Where you spawn them, guys, the spawn system, guys, is the single most important thing in hardpoint, right? Where you spawn them will essentially dictate what lanes they will take first. If you're spawning them back here, they're most likely to take these routes rather than this or this, because this is the quickest route to get into hill and get into action, right? If they take long routes, because it takes a certain amount of time, chat, in order to do so, then you can most accurately predict that. Hey, what's good, Connor? How you doing, fella? Right, so you can most accurately predict that, and that's what we call timings. Need some beef back in? Yeah, honestly, mate, I need it. It's insane. Appreciate it, brothers. So by understanding where we're spawning them, Connor, we understand the timings that they can take, the quickest route possible to time versus the second quickest, third quickest, and slowest. When you process of elimination here, chat. When you understand that they haven't taken the quickest route, you then have the time to predict what routes they can potentially take that is not the quickest. But the ideal goal about filling in certain routes first, second, and third is to force them to take disadvantageous routes to help you win that next wave. So right here, they want Toronto to hit this. Right? They need Toronto. Appreciate Saga for the tier 1. Appreciate you, brother. You want Toronto to hit this because not only do we layer, meaning I know where I'm spawning, where I spawn gives me information of where they're pushing. I am now in power spots to play for that. For example, here and here, I can then utilize my teammates into the fights. So we're thinking it more of a chessboard thing. You can ask general questions, Reno. Absolutely. You can now use your layer and use teamwork to then fight together here, but then you're also getting specific information, and this is why it's important you fill and flow the correct areas of the map first. If Optic continuously banged this first, so imagine 1 was here, 2 was here, and then 3 and 4 were here, 4 just spawned up, then Toronto are in positions to take these routes, block, flip you out based on where they are, and now you're screwed. So controlling, chat, when you're in ranked, you need to control the right areas of the map on rotation in order to give yourselves a layer. When you give yourselves a layer, you have multiple waves and lives to fight where the pressure is coming from. And by controlling the right areas of the map, you spawn them in a certain place to take a certain route, which is then disadvantageous. All of these things matter at the highest level, chat. All of these things matter. Who have I got winning champs? Optic.
Away that time in the hill.
Feel free. Hey, chat. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. If you want me to elaborate things, explain things, whatever it may be, please do so. I want to help you guys as much as I can. I want to give you as much high level insight as I can. So let's do it together, guys. We're learning together, okay? Feel free, always.
The right hand side of the minimap, that's going to be bedroom. Optic in position for that next.
So let's see how Optic play the soft spawn. Spawn in here. Okay, when you spawn back left, you know there's some sort of progression mid. Surge against Ultra, I got Vancouver. I really like Toronto, but Vancouver looked fucking awesome, dude. Did they look awesome? Did they? Wait, hold on. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did against LAT. Yeah, they look good. Sorry, I'm blacking out. Holy shit, it's too early for me, guys.
Right now, Ultra, they can't string together 2 kills in a row, even when they're finding them Optic on top of them.
So look at this example right here, chat. This is another form of layering. This is what we want. We want to be able to spawn here. So obviously, when you spawn here, draw a line. We know what part of the map they're pressuring. If I spawn here, I know there's pressure either top in bedroom or top, right? Appreciate Bad for the tier 1. Genuinely means a lot. Thank you so much. So this is another form of layering. They then know where the furthest pushed up pressure is going to be, because if you don't get the closest spawn possible, you know there's a degree of manipulation happening. Then you know where that is, you fight together. Based on who's spawning where, we'll fill lanes based on what's open. So word to Haggy. Haggy mentioned this before, but this is angle responsibility. Understanding what lane you need to pick up based on what your teammates are doing. Making sure we're all watching different things for info. Once we get specific info, we help each other.
On top of the trades.
So holding it. Shotzi with a lovely covering fire on a Joe. Joe, what a 2-piece that was. Gets himself the kills. Dashy getting backed up now from the outside. Joe on a 3.
Optic are going back to back.
On the pressure forward. Over to Kleenex.
See that layer? This is how we layer. Now look at where they're spawning. Right?
But at the end of the day, the hard point's still green.
All that
look at where they're spawning compared to when then Optic are on hill. Compared to, look, there versus there. The closest hill that you get to time means the enemies either don't have hill control or no map progression. Phases lock. I think it's between Optic and Phase. Right now, the way Optic are playing is insane. I don't even play. I really want FaZe to win, and there's a part of me that thinks FaZe will win, but there's also a part of me that thinks Optic will win. I think right now, if I had to describe it, it's 51% Optic and 49% FaZe. But It's fucking Tyler Abizi, bro. Tyler is the best bailout player I have seen in my fucking career. That guy is insane. Why do you want FaZe to win? No, I don't. Oh, wait, Treasy, hold on. I don't. Okay, I don't want. Sorry, I don't want FaZe to win. I'm tired. Like, ignore my words. I just think it's between them two teams. Personally, you don't think Miami can handle FaZe? I think they can. Yeah, Miami are really good. I think Miami are fantastic. Just FaZe, man. FaZe of FaZe. Come on, guys. FaZe of FaZe. Abizi better than Hydra? They're both different players. Gifo. They're both different players. Them two together would be insane. Miami's flow is insane. So the one thing I really, really like from Miami is the fact that they hit stuff together. They do teamwork. Like their entire philosophy is similar to like how Optic are playing it. Is trade, team shot, trade. No, I think it will be a 3-2 phase, maybe even a 3-1, depending on the map set.
Time neutral, Dashy strikes right back with 2 of his own, and
I know, Brighty, but the thing is, FaZe are really good at search as well.
I mean, we're having a square up battle around the time, but when all
It's interesting, dude. It's interesting.
To accrue the time.
116 to 40 Ultra.
Alright, chat, even here.
Get themselves hot here on Skyline.
Look at how Four's playing it. What do you chat? What do we see here? This is again, chat. When you guys are watching pro teams, when you guys are learning, when you guys are trying to teach pro players, is you want to use repeatable and relatable concepts. What do you guys notice here that is similar to the P2 to P3 right here? What do you guys notice? Someone tell me based on the minimap, what do they see? And I'm not going to give you any hints. I want you guys to come up with the answer. Not layering. Nope. So layering is not it. Look at the time. Okay, the only advice I'd give is look at the time and look at Optics progression. Okay, Toronto already set up. Good. Routing. Good. Let's expand. Let's use the P2 to P3 as an example, guys. Think like pro players. Think like pro players. Come on, guys. Let's start thinking like pros. So, what's the rule? What is the rule? Take the route to pinch. Who's taking the route to pinch? 3-1. Okay. But who's taking the route to pinch? The first player. Good. Why is the first player in this situation taking a route of spawn? Why does he do it in this situation? They are trying to play the wave control one side of the map. So I like that answer. That is good. But not in this case. But good answer though. So why is he... Chat, explain to me if you're a pro player. Why is he doing it in this situation? For better timings. Ultra not hitting time. Good. Remember guys, just keep it stupid simple. Ultra have basically new setup. They have new setup, so this is where they take the routes. For then everybody else to then refill where required. You understand? And the way you break P1 coming from the P4 side is you want to play for top control first, the first and second people, or second and third, and then have someone bang in bed. Why? Chat, why? So, let's say Toronto are set up like this. Toronto in blue, right? I don't know. Some variation like this. This is Toronto. Explain to me, chat, when it comes to breaking a hill, why do you want to play for top control first? What does that do? And why then do you want to hit bedroom? Let's think of it like pros. Let's think of it in a micro perspective now. So micro meaning, let's think of it like you're actually shooting the gun. Someone explain to me. You get first shot in your iron. Okay. But what about from a break-in perspective? What about from a positioning perspective? So why do you want to play to get top? Okay, good. Playing for the power spot. Fabio, very good. Now, Fabio, what does that do? When you play for the power spot, when you're trying to break a hill, what does that allow you to do? Not flip spawns. Not flip spawns. Good answer, though, but not that. You can ape and gun him. I like that. Good confidence. Trying to control P1 entries. Very good. Very, very good, chat. So, again, when you're a pro player, in the moment, when you're playing a pro team, in this situation, you know Toronto have P1 rotation. And they've not given you basically any kills except for Beans, right? And Beans is still going to spawn up and then refill where he needs to. Right, chat? So this is where you ranked players need to start thinking like a pro player. I'm coming off spawn. They have the complete new. But what positions are they going to play? You're going to have common AR spots. Common power positions that ARs are going to fill. So right here for P1, the common spots that ARs will play is S1 here, or top cat, or bottom piano. They're usually the three that they play. Some might push out cat and play top T like here, right? Now, when it comes to breaking, and you're thinking like a pro player, you're trying to predict exactly what power spots at least the ARs are going to be holding, right? P3? No. This is for P1, right? This is for P1, okay? So, when you control top first, you can bait and switch top. FaZe do it fantastically. You bait and switch, get this guy weak, get this guy weak, because chat, what happens? You tell me. What happens if I'm S1 and I'm top T, like top P2, and I get back down? Someone explain to me what happens if I get back down. Appreciate it, Fletch. Thank you so much for the tier 1. Means a lot, brother. Thank you so much. Map pressure, Jaden. Yes. But what does that do? It backs these guys down. Meaning, a timing is open. A timing is open to hit the guy on hill. Or a timing is open to take a bottom bed route. Right? So that's why controlling certain power spots of the map first can then allow you to help a break, because you deny the people watching over. So right here, FaZe do it fantastically. And this is something we got really good at doing, is we would double top. The first guy would slide. The first guy sliding is going to drag his aim assist and his aim assist here, right? So let me make it clear for you guys. So this is where the micro is very important. When we're dragging his aim assist, the guy behind him, like he goes here, the guy behind him is taking these fights and backing them down. When these guys are back down, chat, so follow me on this. When he's back down weak, stun naded. You stun him, you stop their regen, and you nade him, you force him to back off. This guy's on his own. The guy kitchen is basically on his own. It then allows the guys breaking to dive off hill and get map progression. This is why, chat, on a break, your pacing is very important. Chat, someone give me an explanation of what pacing is. Jaden, give me an idea of what pacing means. What is pacing? Someone tell me what pacing is. What is pacing? How fast you take gunfights. Good. What is pacing from a macro perspective? Slowing down for a second to throw the other team off. How quick you follow your teammates up. How fast you take gunfights. Now, chat. There's different situations of pacing. But essentially, pacing in a break, not necessarily exploiting timings, but when you're pacing in a clean break meaning you don't have any kills, is when do you take the first fights together? When do you activate a play together? When do you initiate a playbook together? So, for example, pacing right here, let's say if you're Optic in this situation, so let's say the blue is Toronto, right? Let's say blue is like this, chat. And this is very important for you guys in ranked when you play iridescent kids, for example, right? Let's say something like this, right? These two will wait here, wait for this guy, and wait for the fourth guy to do something like this, right? By doing things together, by doing things in the same line, by doing things like in... Oh, shit. Wait, can I not do it? Oh, it's a premium thing. Well, by doing things in the same line, imagine you are all holding a stick. You're trying to do it in the same line. For my European viewers, think of it like rugby, right? You're trying to do things in the same line. Yeah? You're trying to do things in the same line. By doing things in the same line, you can then take the same fights. Yeah, Nasty's ill. Yeah, Byron is ill. So pacing is essentially in this context, pacing is how can we activate and take the same fights together. We're taking the stick and we're doing it at the same time. Set up the wall, correct. Because when you set up the wall, that's the best timing possible for these guys to do something off it. He might late play it. He might purposefully late play it, expecting this guy to instantly rotate because the pressure's coming from here, because they're setting up a 3-1, right? This is what we call pacing. Now, you have different types of pacings, like when you're trading. Like, are you trading and fighting together? Are you being selfless? But that's a whole different thing. So, by understanding... So, core point, guys, core point, take-home message is when you understand and you're predicting what positions the enemies are playing in setups, you can then have patience to set up a break and use micro teamwork, bait and switches, dragon aim assist, bed, all these different things to then open up timings to break a hill, to get a kill, to then flip a spawn. Working on third, Bright, you're the fucking best. Bright, let me pay you for these, bro. You're insane. Chat, I need to give a huge shout out to Brighty. He's absolute legend. He's done all of the thumbnails for the YouTube channels, emotes. I want to pay him for the work he's done. He's done it without me asking. I genuinely, it means a lot to me that you've done that. Like it's insane. The fact that you're doing that is crazy to me, and you're an absolute legend for that. So I do want to thank you for that. Genuinely means a lot. Absolute legend.
Down in AC, down in the fence, but inside there, Mason for it.
Nice. Okay, so right here, Brandon gets one.
That is it, folks. The first set of hard points complete. What a lead for Optic.
Yeah, just a little splash.
Look at Brandon trying to help Kyler. Look at Mercules filling in where needed.
Picking up the read like that for the underground round. But
and I keep saying, chat, right? Both sides. Once you get top control, you get someone bottom, you can use that progression. So one more thing, chat. Right, this is where ARs and SMG synergy is very important. When you know your ARs are in power spots, look at Brandon right here. So my question to you here, chat, look at Brandon, look at Insight. If you have your assault rifle players in power spots, right, during a wave, what does that allow your SMG players to do? What does that actually allow your subs to do? Someone tell me. Someone give me an idea what that allows it to do. Shit on him. But how? How does that, like, apply pressure? Get active, Jaden. Not to rotate necessarily. So look at Dashi, look at cheers, Bianca. Fuck's sake. Look at Dashi right here, chat. Look at Dashi right here. He's allowing, because he's holding a power spot, Shotzi to get progression. So you're absolutely correct, Fabio, to apply pressure. So this is how you have AR and SMG synergy. When you know your ARs are playing predictable and consistent spots, it can allow your SMGs in the flow to then take pressure and take space. The best AR players in the game, your Brandons, your Dashis, your Scraps, as an example, your Rencors, Supers, the best ARs in the game know when to hold power spots and when to go into the trade. This is another element of pacing. Because Dashi could sit here and farm. Right? Dashi could sit here and farm. But when kills are going down and trades are going down, remember, it's about being selfless in the flow. It's about trading the flow. He's holding a power spot, and then... didn't even in the phase, boys. Reno, I'm not going to lie, I kind of blacked out. Sell fucking draws. I blacked out. But this is a big piece of advice for you AR players in ranked. Understand, especially as main ARs, because I was a main AR most of my career. Is understand when you need to play a power spot to open up the map for your team, but most importantly, understand when you need to get into the fight in order to trade, in order to take the same fights. That is a skill within a skill. You can't just sit on a head glitch the entire map anymore. You have to trust the flow, learn when to do it versus when not to do it. People like Dashi, for example, they do it very, very, very well. Excellent.
They're gonna need a lot more.
Look at this. You see this right here? He's trying to get in the trade. It doesn't work, but you get the idea. Alright, chat. Let's see how they end up breaking this.
They have had any degree of control. This is where they need to capitalize.
Let's see if they can turn it all around. Combo with beams. Can't get the second
Okay.
there to his life. That's going to be Mercules bringing him down. 9 and 9 with over a minute of hard point time as well. That is
2 pieces of information. You're going to be top 250 because of me. Hard stuck flat. Hey, Bianca, if you keep watching the locker rooms, I've had a lot of players who are now Crimson simply because of translatable concepts. So keep watching, yeah? Right, 2 things. What did you guys notice? One, that's obvious. The second one, not so obvious. What do you guys notice here? What do you guys notice? What do you guys notice? What do you think, guys? Number 1 kills 5, 4-3-2 can die and spawn new, retaking top again and 1 got out, 7 gave up timings for underground route. Appreciate you, Asku. You notice that Ultra got slammed. What's good, Bomber? 1 is on the pinch, 2 and 4 have each other's cross, allowing 3 to trade. There's 3 things. So, number 1, yes. The first guy of the break has taken the route. He has taken the route, so we know this. But, chat, in order to make your long route successful and efficient, what needs to happen? What else do you notice? What else do you notice? Stay alive. Good. But what else? Most importantly. Most importantly. The second thing. So number 1. Yes. They're taking route. First guy's taking a route. What do you notice these 3 are doing? These 3. What do you notice they're doing? I mean, you can't see the other 2, but Shotzi's here and Mercules is here. Banging time. Banging time. Map control. They're aping something, right? Because, chat, in order to make a long route successful, so in this case, this is the underground route, you need to have map control here. You have to hit something together in order, ape something together. Very, very good, Asku. You need to ape something together in order to open up that timing for him. If you do not put pressure on the map, like they have done perfectly, this long route is useless because number 7 is going to pick it up. Number 7 is going to say, hey, I don't see anything. I'm going to check the underground route. Right? But also, there has to be a timing element to it. Meaning, number 1 cannot just bang. He has to wait for them 3 to set up a play together. So chat, what have I just said about setting up a play? About pacing. This is good pacing right here. fantastic pacing right here. Right here is fantastic. The reason why this is fantastic pacing is because they're taking the fights together like a chain. This is genuinely fantastic right here. They're taking the fights together, which can allow for trades. It backs him off, opens up the timing for him to then break the hill. Now, what did you notice about number 5 spawn, chat? What's so important about number 5 spawn? Start thinking about. Exactly, Yasku. He has to back down because he sees 3 top. He is saying, hey, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Right? 3, 3, 3. If you're screaming 3, he's turning round. He's turning round. Nobody is going to be looking at the pinch because they're so worried about the Charles here. Right? That is why. Yes, Apollo. When you spawn here, you know someone has got through this side. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's an absolute staple for the success Optic are seeing here.
Yeah, they take another underground route. Hoops
This was textbook. This was a fucking textbook break. This couldn't be more textbook as you wanted. This was insane. Now, what do you notice again? Bro, what are we seeing again? Asku, what are you seeing right now? Tell me from a flow perspective, they've just got a clean wave. From a flow perspective, someone tell me something. My regulars, 2 things. 2 things. What are you noticing, chat? From a flow perspective. Come on, guys. Think more fundamental here. Plat control. So they're bumping out Cat. They're getting Plat. The first guy. The first guy. The first fucking guy is doing it. Now, who do you notice is the first guy, chat? Who do you notice is the first guy? Let's not get bogged down on the chippy order, Tom. Tom, who's the first guy? Brandon. And what weapon does normally Brandon use? Tom, what weapon does Brandon McGilligan normally use? Normally an AR. So this is where your roles don't. This is where roles become very fluid. It's about the order in the flow, the order in this conveyor belt that you are. He is the first guy pushed up. He's the first guy, second guy, third guy, fourth guy. He's the first guy, right? So when he bumps out, they refill through time, playing safety net positions, bump and block, refill through time when you bump, right? This is called bumping. Bumping means you pushing out to get space. What does the first guy have? Chat. What does the first guy have in this situation? What does the first guy have when he bumps out here? Come on, chat. I say this all the time. I say this all the time. Yes, very good answers, but even more simpler than that. Someone's already given the answer. But when you are the first guy, you have the ability to kill whore, to play kills. A free life, Fabio. Fantastic. Dashi has a free life to do whatever the hell he wants. He has a free life to get specific information, to get kills, because he's just going to spawn up close anyway. Boom. Perfectly done. And chat, when you guys are playing ranked, I need you guys to balance when to trust the flow versus, especially if you're a mania, when you need to trust the flow for the trades versus when you need to play power spots. That is the most important thing.
Optic have taken over.
Look how
Very
far
good.
forward we are. That is 20-7 for Dashi with a jackal in hand.
Right, let's see where Brandon spawns.
P1, P2 once again, all Optic. Left hand
Spawns
side
close,
of the
it's
map.
fine.
3
Refill
arrows
when
already.
needed.
Optic still firmly in control. Kills all over. Let's go for it.
Interest. This is fantastic. Right, listening, guys.
Did he hit it? Did he hit it? I'm holding my underground, that's it.
Just hit right.
Still up top.
Is he still top?
Yeah, still up top.
Right, Joe.
Okay, I'm holding my underground.
Step right.
I'm
What's
living,
right?
living.
What's right?
There are multiple right. Multiple right.
I have
Yo, it's spawn out. They're all over you guys.
Right side.
Couch is dead.
What's right?
One more right. One more right.
I got time, I got
Couches.
Nice.
Top, last guy, white.
Last guy.
Beans, all time.
I'll kill him. Nice. I have time in.
So good.
Yeah, Murky, I know. We say Brandon McGilligan because he's like a character from like the movie Braveheart, so I just say Brandon McGilligan. Yeah, and I know.
Yo, they're gonna be right heavy. They're gonna be right heavy.
Helping you
They're
up.
gonna be right heavy.
Joe's right.
Watch right.
Living, peek into the corner.
Okay, I have right.
Yo, bottom gym.
I have right, Charles. Stay
Yo,
down.
and top and bottom gym. Top and bottom gym.
Right dead.
That's fine. I have the right.
Inside right dead.
We'll go piano.
I don't see him. Piano.
Shit off. I got you. I push up the right. Shit off. Push up the right. They're gonna be up.
Go piano. Go piano.
Yo, P1 dead. Push up the right. Shit off. Push up the right. They're gonna be up.
Go piano.
I didn't even have to say anything. You guys know. Good shit, guys. Good fucking shit. Fucking shit. I love that from you guys.
I'm coming into you. I'm bumping into you.
Yo, two new.
I'm coming into you. I'm bumping into you.
Yo, new.
I'm coming into you. I'm bumping into you.
Yo, new. Two.
Listen to it, chat. What's Merkley saying?
I'm coming into you. I'm bumping into you.
Yo, new. Two.
Bumping to you guys. Bumping. Or bumping to you or bumping with you. One of the two. Alright, let me listen to it again. Hold on.
I'm coming into you. I'm bumping into you.
Yo, new. Two new. Shit on. Nice. Kleenex was one shot.
Outer dead.
What's the grab?
Kleenex was one shot.
Outer dead.
I'm not gonna say it. Someone tell me. Someone tell me what this means. No, well, kinda. But what does that spawn mean? What does that spawn mean? What does that spawn mean? What does that spawn mean, chat? Nice, Saga. Good fucking shit. Come on. No map progression spawn.
Yeah, I push out their front.
I got somebody.
I'm sitting there close.
I
have all this shit. Check it. Shit, their side lights. Their side lights.
Two gym side. One's P1, one ship. He's our side you.
Other guys lights. I flipped behind him. Being this deep out here. 2 on time.
Yeah, 2 on time.
One was girl and one was time.
What's the copy? Sorry.
We have split. Stay left.
Yo, what's that? Close up, you guys. Close up.
Yeah, he's one shot in the corner.
I'm trying the shit.
It's beans.
Ball bank on their dead. On time.
Alright, Kleenex one shot.
On the heady. They spawn long.
Yeah, power play live.
I'm gonna shot
Front inside.
You wanna chop front?
So weak front. On the right. Where's Hinder?
Another one time.
Watch out, this side.
On the burden. Nice.
I need myself. Watch out.
Holding my U. No.
They're already there.
I have Jim. I have your mid. Someone grab
I have your enter.
This is something, folks. That is one hell of a listening from Optic, Texas. We
Alright, chat.
all there.
Question for you guys, okay? Question for you guys in the chat.
out their front.
So, alright, chat. Let me explain. So before we get into that, right? My question here is, what is the difference between this P2 to P3 versus the previous P2 to P3? Why are they not taking routes in this situation, whereas in this situation they're just banging time? Someone explain to me what the distinction is between the two. Okay, I like that, but even more specific than that. Even more specific. Numbers, 16 seconds on hill because they have no setup. So in this situation, chat, they already had number 1 out. Yes, archives, good. So two things. which go synonymous, right? So Toronto aren't in new. The reason why Toronto aren't in new is because of number one. Because of number one. In this particular situation here, chat, number one has map progression. Number one has map progression, and he has all the info in the world. He's spawning them garden, right? When you have map progression, the general rule is you wanna be able to use that. The reason why you want to use map progression is because you know it's a lane your teammates have cleared, and you want to be in positions to trade him based on where the pressure is coming from. The fact that 4 doesn't end up taking a route or 3 taking a route is because he already has the space. So when you see your teammates with map control or map progression, they are the situations where you don't need to take a long route, and instead you want to take the quickest route possible, or you want to take a complementary route in order to help your teammates on you. This is because you already have it, you use it. You have map progression, you use the map progression. Very good. Yeah, very good, Murky. Very good. Fantastic. But this is why 3 is trying to help 1. It could even bumped out 2 faster to help him. Merc still has map progression, so 2 can help him. Nice. And now they've got kills. And now they can just use the map progression instead of taking routes. To take a route or to not take a route, that's a fucking question. Whoa! Wait. Ant is locked, by the way, because he's just screamed dead. He screamed dead and died. Exactly. I'm dead. He's just screamed dead and died. I fuck it. That's what I want to hear. Even if I die, I'm shitting on you.
I'm sitting there close.
Now they can set up a 3-1. Now they can set that shit up. Now they take their time, and now they set up the 3-1 because Toronto have full control. Now they have power spots here. Yeah. Do you hear the comm chat? Stay alive, stay alive. When you come off spawn, do the thinking for your team. Hey, stay alive. Let's set up the next break together. This is pacing. This is how we then activate. Nice. I like their comms. The comms are like, I know it's a bit energetic and there's a lot of urgency, but they are talking to each other. They are like listening to each other. Absolutely. So what Ant is doing here is called holding progression. When it comes to breaking a hill, when you have progression, they have to worry about it. You're in a position where you can then activate off it. You're getting them tweaking. As soon as you die, all these arrows are going to be looking one way. One of the biggest differences between ranked, for example, and like, say, the Pro League, is understanding or having the discipline to not be involved in a play because you staying alive is being involved in the play, if that makes sense. You doing nothing is doing everything. Put your controller down. Good morning, Swag. Appreciate it, brother. Put your controller down. They still have to tweak about you, which then activates a 3-1 for your teammates. Yeah, early morning locker room. I was feeling it. And then the timings are open. You see that, chat? Alright, chat. Even in this situation, look how they let the game come to them. Your best teams in the game, your LATs, your phases, they are very good at understanding the timings that they have to then either let the game come to you or take timings or sub routes to flip or take trades or whatever.
This is something, folks. That is one hell of a listening
Nice.
from Optic, Texas. We heard it all there, and a single call-out chance that I don't know where that position is on the map.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, they're calling it out over and over and over again. So
Very good from Optic here. Now look at Optic. Using the progression your teammates have to force trades. This is why, chat, you can have game plans, right? You can have ideas on the way you want to break hills. But when things are getting mixy, the best teams know in the moment, like where they need to be, what they need to fill, and based on where they need to be and what they need to fill first, their teammates will follow them. At the end of the day, as long as you're in a position where you're doing something with your teammates, it's better. It's better.
Translated into a 140-second lead. Ultra have won a single rotation all game, and they've gotten nothing off the back.
Annoying. So annoying. Look at this break. So annoying, chat. Look at the flow. Look at the fill. They're bumping out P1 first, guys. This is the high level plays. This is how you start to play ahead. When you bump out a certain side of the map, the game wants to spawn you diagonal in the safest way possible. You then funnel them and layer based on a disadvantageous position here. This is a disadvantageous position for Toronto because now look at them. Right? No, they could not. No,
Shot so you can sit down, man.
Layering. This is how you layer. Now, once you spawn here, you know, hey, they're pushing across. Now they're gonna take the same fights together. Chat. This is all pro hardpoint is. You get a clean wave. Understand what parts of the map you want to control. Understand what power spots you want to control. Understand what that does to the spawns. Then predict what routes enemies could take based off that spawn. React off the information by letting the game come to you. By Mercules staying alive, he knows all four are going here. Where the pressure is coming from, you help each other. Then in these situations, you play power spots or hybrid spots. Power spots are spots on the map which give you an overwhelmingly high percentage chance of winning the gunfight. You then play these spots, help each other, win the game. It's quite literally as simple as that. Look at Kyler. Look at Kyler in 1 and 2.
24-17 for Hoop. Unbelievable stat lines. 26 and 12.
Look at them helping each other. Helping each other. Look, this is what I'm saying, guys. Look, the layer. You layer again. This is why you want this side of the map. You can either spawn here, spawn there, or spawn there. When you get P1 spawned out, P1 pushed out, bro, look, they spawn in bed. You're spawning bed. If you're not spawning here, you're spawning bed. And if you don't spawn bed, you spawn out, you know someone's front bed. That's why the lanes that you play for first in the order of operation is very, very important when it comes to the hill. Okay?
The hard point in the hands of Optic, and map 1 is
very good. Very, very fucking good. Give me a minute, guys. I need water.
Ruthless. 250 to 87 start. Optic back to their old ways.
And make no mistake about it, that is Ultra, their best hardpoint map, and they just got introduced to the 100-point club. Green Wall singing them the lullaby of obliteration. You gotta wake up after that one.
All of my locker rooms are on YouTube. If one of my mods can link it, it'd be much appreciated.
That's what I'm gonna say. Kleenex put up some good.
So the bed spawn is, yeah, if they're not in kitchen.
20 and map 1. He keeps finding the kills. Unbelievable. You hit the scene. You'd have given him the 4th, but no, guys, it was Shotzi. You can sit behind. Another 3. You'd have given him the 4th, but no, guys, it was Shotzi. You can.
Hold on, where is it?
Ultra.
Wait, I've lost the kitchen spawn. Hold on. Could you link the locker room, please?
They are getting rotation.
But no, guys, it was Shotzi. You can sit.
So you spawn here when they, oh bloody hell, banging through.
I saw you hit the ceiling. 24 and 18 for Shotzi himself. 24-17 for Hoop. Unbelievable stat lines. 26 and 12 for Dachi. As Shotzi keeps finding the kills, that is still the.
Yeah. So if they're both sides, basically. Look at him. Seven is in a position where he's blocking that spawn, and then he's blocking that piano spawn too. That's why you get the bed. Because the no map progression spawn is like here. If you know they have no map progression, you'll spawn like there. But obviously he's pushing out, blocking that and that. 7 is blocking this and that. It's just how it is.
Point in the hands of Optic, and map 1 is gone.
Fantastic, honestly. Right, let's watch and control.
The don't champion. Good as.
Do. Do 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 do.
No, baby! No, baby!
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Alright, chat. Let's get this control. This is on the old patch, by the way.
Only. Visit scuff.co/CDL to upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Wait.
The Call of Duty League
Yeah. So
is
guys,
brought to you
I do the locker room 3 times a week. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Usually, no. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Usually is when I do the locker rooms. So I upload them to YouTube. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So check out my YouTube channel. This is purely an educational series. So I try and teach you guys as much as I know, so you guys can improve and see the game from a high level. Yeah. And viewer 8s on Friday and Sunday usually.
by
Maybe
Monster
not for
Energy,
this week, but
the
usually
official
will be.
energy drink of the CDL.
The Esports World Cup is an
Yeah, chat.
official part.
Ask all the questions you want. Let's learn together.
They will vacate the point. Can we keep them back?
I've got a bunch of YouTube videos uploaded.
Yo! 246, 246. Ultra, what have you got? Calamity.
The link doesn't work. What, the Discord link? Yeah, I got you.
Diverted. Young Mercules and a whole load of work in the lab has seen this whole
Alright,
season
chat, let's
turn
get locked in.
around.
Protocol control.
Can they close it out here? Here we go.
Honestly, it's like pick your poison with Optic. Like, Optic are one of the best HASI control teams in the game.
Optic fans are going to start to foam at the mouth with the way that this has gone in the approach right now over towards the A site.
Oh, look at that route from Merc.
Already working the
Already.
pinch, and he has gotten through unchecked, unspotted, striking into
Nice,
kill
good pinch.
feed, and well, there's number 2, A zone. You're not going to get it. Optic have it all.
Alright, chat. Question. Can I play? Yes, of course. You can play from the UK. I don't care where you're from. You can play from the UK. You can play from Europe, America. We just changed the host based on where you guys are. So if you guys do want to play viewer 8s, I'm gonna do a viewer 8s battle against Preston potentially Monday or Tuesday. So make sure you guys are following the stream and all of that sort of stuff. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter as well, please. It'd be much appreciated. Okay, so right here, chat. Where do you think number 1 and number 2 should be refilling? Tell me, based on where Optic are, where do you think they should be refilling and why? Middle, okay. Why is that? Why is that? Mid gun and red, but why? Give me a fundamental. Why? You guys should know. You guys have seen the clips. What do you see with number 3? What is that? What do you see? What does number 3 have? Progression. So these are the situations here, chat. Is on protocol control, you want to control blue on defense. You want to try and get into blue on defense as the first thing you're prioritizing. Well, first thing you're prioritizing is mid, where possible. If you have map progression, meaning number 3 is already here, you want to use the progression he has to then play the power spots off that, to then help him in trade. The last guy can then pick P2 up, or underground. Zip, okay, I think that's good. I like that. Potentially number 2 could do it. Potentially. Either or. Even if they take underground routes, as long as you have mid progression, and you're pushing inside, you're pushing into blue, you make the guy taking the zip route like completely irrelevant. So let's see how they play it.
For another one here, Insight's going to take those top windows.
So he's filled in zip, very good. He's filled in P1. He should be helping mid.
Nice 3-0 start here.
2's going round.
Top side of the map, a lot of Ultra players, but Mercules playing very patiently indeed.
And happy to be patient as well. Let your teammates get in position. 2 players working
So
on the flank.
I
Nice shots to go to
don't
C's.
mind it too much.
Top side of the map,
Chat,
a lot
I
of
don't mind this.
top windows.
The only thing I could potentially say
Got it.
is, could there be a world where Ant is like, I mean, I know he's getting watched from here, so 4 is trying to play P1 for him. Well, like, he goes like this. Like this. Something like that. Right? Because then they can then refill through mid. Even if they take underground routes, 2 has P2, 2 can refill, you know? That's what I'm saying, but I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. I think if Shotzi's going to refill this and watch here to then repinch anyway, then 3 should be watching mid. 3 should be hard focused here to deny where their push is coming from, and they're the most efficient kills when it comes to getting the time.
Hercules goes from one side of the map to the other. Nice 3
So right here, had he not watched the right initially, I know he's reloading, had he continued to play for 6 with number 1, even though number 1 could potentially die, like refilling short to gun, like this, even with a sub, then number 6 is dead. Number 5 is, you know, we have info on 5, info on 7. Number 2 then can take a route. My opinion.
To the other. Nice 3-0 start here. Top side of the map, a lot of Ultra players, but Hercules playing very patiently indeed.
Happy to be
So right here, blue control. So, chat. Why, based on what you see on the minimap, chat, why is playing for blue very important? Why, in the first place, playing for blue and playing for mid very important? From a micro perspective. From a micro perspective, why is that important?
Position, 2 players working on the flank. Nice shots from Joe to Sieves as the...
Come on, chat. Give me some answers here. Asku, Nick, Swaggy, Brighty, Bianca. Have a think. Have a think here on why playing for blue control or refilling blue is so crucial to this map. So look at this map here. Look at this mini-map right now. Let's keep it simple here. Irish Maniac, Daily, I want you guys to give me some answers here. Why do you think it's so important to play blue first? Whatever that looks like. They fight their way out. Good. Progression. Good. Even more simpler than that. Look at the spots they're in. What do you notice about this guy when you're here, here, and here? What do you guys notice? Not a trick question. Not a trick question. What do you notice? What does that do? Covering all the entries to the hill. You set up natural crossfires. 2 things. Number 1, you spawn them deep. Instead of spawning them like here, to then fill, you spawn them deep, first of all. Right? Which then, when you spawn them deep, it gives you more time to then collapse on A, to trade, to fight, do what you need to do. Right? But another reason why it's really important that you're playing for blue control is there's nowhere on the hill they can basically hide. So on control chat, for you new viewers out there, you have two sites on control, right? A and B, as you can see here. One of the sites is significantly easier to capture compared to the other. In this case, A is easier to cap than B. When you control a certain side of the map, you increase the difficulty for the enemies to cap because you have multiple lanes to attack. By controlling blue first, when you come off spawn, like here, it's easy to refill. Refilling means picking up a lane that is open to then fight this guy. When you have your first, second, and third guy mid, as an example, or blue, the last guy can pick up the outer lanes because it's the easiest to do. When you are in your flow, which we call our conveyor belt system, meaning who in the order of operations and the order of spawns is picking up what lane, if you are the last guy, it is the easiest job for the last guy to pick up the outer lanes, and the first, second, and third guy job is to pick up the hardest lanes, or the lanes of most resistance. Right here, controlling blue is a lane, or controlling middle is a lane of most resistance, so you can play to trade. When you control these hot spots, these areas that people are trying to fight for, you play to trade, you play to then lose lives, they lose lives, and you keep them off A. That's why it's very important that people control certain sides of the map. That's why there's a difference between controlling this versus controlling this versus controlling this. just from a risk-reward game perspective, controlling certain areas of the map, make the other team or put them in a disadvantageous position to do so.
The solo capture of the point.
So right here,
you go, 4-man off the board. Optic
and LAT are one of the best teams in the game at doing this. This is the thing with control, guys. When you get a clean wave meaning you get a clean 4, boom, you know where they're spawning. You want to play to control blue control first, like fill for blue, right? Once you have that, look at this guy, right? These are the situations where you want to play to spawn trap them. You want to play to look for kills, because your teammates are going to refill off spawn to fill where the power spots again, because this is what we call game management. The whole idea is for Optic to reduce Ultra's lives as much as you can, with the understanding that they're going to lose A. So then at that point, if Ultra cap A, they've got 9 lives, 10 lives to work with to cap B. This is what we call game management. Good morning, Danny. Secret and closed on defense. On both sides, secret and closed. On attack, it's secret, closed, plat, and office, ideally. If you get plat control, secret, close control, to then plat and office, they're the places you want to control. How you doing, Gridlock? Insane. The champs is insane. So right here, this is the hot spot you want to control. This is what we call a hot spot right here. This is the first things you want to control, because it's easy to pick up the outer lanes. And then when they die, you refill the second layer, the second hotspot, which is mid, to then deny them getting A and playing for trades. You see how that works? Oh wait, we got new. Oh shit, we got new emotes. Whoa, we got new emotes. Hey, wait, hold on, chat, hold on. Wait, what are these emotes? Wait, show them one at a time. Wait, that's insane, chat. This is the first time I'm looking at this. Wow, hive mind. There we go. Ape together strong. Ah, thank you, Danny Boy, for the tier 1. Wait, this is fucking insane. Holy fuck, you just made that right now? Absolute shout out to High Caffeine Dev. Legend. Fucking legend. Let's lock the chat. Let's lock the fuck. I gotta lock the fuck. Was it Brighty that made it? Holy shit, Brighty. Oh my. I need another shout out for Brighty. Give me another shout out for Brighty. I want his name in the stars, and I want you to pin that shit. Brighty, you're a fucking legend. Holy fuck. Yeah, someone give Brighty a shout out. Wait, how do you give someone a shout out? Wait, I think it's just this. Shout out. Wait, what's Brighty's thing? Brighty God. I have to wait 20 minutes? Oh, Shouty, I've got to wait 20 minutes. Oh, wait, hold on. Can we talk about how the LAG liners predicted the roster for the season? Wait, what roster? You mean LAG's roster? Oh, lag liners. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Can put him in the spawn
Now
trap.
straight towards the spawn building we go. This is the power position.
So, how'd you get out of a trap? First, you gotta play for blue. You have to play for blue. You have to invest lives to get into blue to then set up an underground pinch while then hitting heli. Now, there's 2 options. So teams have 2 options. It's either you bang out heli first and sidewalk, and you leave blue, and then refill it last, which I've seen teams do, especially on this patch, the next patch, or you play for blue together, control blue, and then get out underground while having heli and sidewalk, or like cliff. It's just, you gotta get out, whatever that looks like. You just have to get out, whatever it is. Ideally, you want to try blue.
Really, unfortunately, let a player right through there. But it doesn't seem to matter. The trades are on point. Now, Cahoot pick up another one from spawn. The back steps.
The teams are just getting good at like slaying ahead.
That's a 4 spree as well. You got Mercules behind you. They are.
It's so hard to do that though. If they have, right, it's the same concept on A, right? I don't know, right? So I DK. So if they've got blue and you guys are progressing through B like this, they have mid, They have heaven. They can repinch you cliff. Last guy's gonna be tower or like short. You're like fish in a barrel, anyway, right? So your best chance is one of two options. It's either banging blue or banging heli to A, basically, or sidewalk to A, essentially. If they have two people in blue, fine, leave it. We're gonna play for A, where you're softest, run through, and then do it that way. It's two options.
Toronto teed up right now, ready to go. That's a 5 spree from Hook. Merc is going to shoot more players in the back. Or Beans finally makes a nice read.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
To go. And you have
so you know exactly where they are based on where you spawn. Spot on, Murky. Very good.
The slower route here through
so look at Shotzi here.
Players upstairs, so you're going to make something happen here. Shotzi's going to take the.
You have 0 progress.
So look at this.
So you're going to make something happen.
So now this is a situation where now you take a long route because you don't have progression mid. This is now where Ant is playing for blue again, for them guys to then refill where required, right? This is where you take the route, is because you have no map progression mid. You're thinking like a pro now. You're thinking, right, they have complete mid control. You can try and fight it, but they already have the power spots, and they're most likely going to bump into your grandmas anyway. We talked about this a while ago, yes. But the concepts are still the same. Repeatable. So now, this is where you flip the map on him, and you make him useless. That's your best chance you've got.
But here, Shotzi's going to take the slower route here through Spiral. We'll see that in a moment. In the meantime, we'll stop the clock at 27.9. Shotzi spied out. Joe trying to hold him back. The first segment gone. Shotzi can't get him
Yeah, this is where you got to try. So look at Hugh again, refilling.
You've got to contend for a few more kills.
Well, great deliverance.
What's good, Shucks? I use Epic Pen. Epic Pen is the one.
Maintaining all the pressure. Beans trying to back him down as much as you can. So ultimately, the objective to name the game.
I appreciate you, brother.
A little bit of success. Kills getting traded back and forth, but it's going to be Toronto with the extra.
Very good. Excellent stuff.
Not on their side. But
they're going to do it again. They're going to lose A. They understand, hey, we're going to lose A. Dashy's going to stay alive, and they'll go around. Ape together strong. Look at them taking the routes. Underground to blue. Number one's taking the route.
We'll lose Kleenex and we'll lose.
But they're set up in a position to kill these two and spawn trap again.
V12 in a minute and 15 to capture B. Not ideal. Optic, you just want
nice, Kyler. Good route from Kyler. What's good, Venom? Nice, Kyler. Ook.
Here he goes. Looking for a few more. A couple more involuntary melees. But their kills are
this was rough,
sensational.
Yeah. You see, chat, you see what I'm saying? You see how Kyler played it? By playing to control this first, you have so much flexibility to cut either side. This in itself is a massive hybrid spot because you can pinch either side. These are the things you want to fill first, because it is easy to refill the side lanes after that. This is what I want you guys to do for ranked. Play for blue first on defense.
A couple more involuntary melees, but their kills are just sensational. Optic, Texas. The kill count was tied up a second ago. Now there's no more members of Ultra left.
Yeah, and this is not Dashy spawn. This is Toronto. So
yeah,
things are getting weird. And you see Inside and Joe Deceives trying to look for him, but it is a massive distraction. And Hook, in the meantime, picking up extra kills. Already 11 in the round, all but guaranteed.
At 10-3.
Very good. Now they just need one wave to win. Yes, Toby does play for Grandma's on offense, yes. So, Murky, to your point, so we'll talk about this in a second. Basically, it's flipped for the offensive team.
Now will make his way forward. Will he find those final kills? No, it looks like a miracle run here from the remaining members of Ultra, the surviving players of Insight and Beans.
Oh.
Making something happen here.
Imagine, eh? 4v2, imagine.
Beans stopping off the point and trying to make things interesting. 2v4, but still the pressure's on our Ultra.
They're still managing to do this alone. This is just two individual players trying to catch something.
If Ben gets one and slides and gets out, this is scary.
Maybe good, maybe great, maybe not. Insight now alone, but what a battle. They certainly made Optic sweat there.
Yeah, interesting, but ultimately no dice. The moment those players get to back Lighthouse, Insight's going to be rendered useless because up top trips can.
It wasn't Toronto's decision. It wasn't Toronto. Toronto didn't have a decision in that.
Really only held through the middle of the map. Nonetheless, the best play is nice to try to get the gun warm, but ultimately Hoop dropped 13 in round number 1, just diminishing Toronto's lives.
That's good.
The means and insight show was very impressive.
He's doing his deep breaths. I like that from Joe.
Some composure here.
Look at that. Breathing techniques, guys. Breathing techniques.
Not a word uttered by nearly any of the players on
Really, are you going to delete the tweets that I put?
Resolute focus here in map
Really,
number
can you
3.
delete them?
Optic taking the first. We swap sides. Ultra now on defense.
Oh my goodness.
And defense is not
Yeah, I
working
mean,
out so
at that
far.
point, if he's deleted it, I might as well delete
Yeah,
it, right?
I mean, they're just running him over.
Just
Shots
delete all the
full
useless
speed
ones, and
ahead.
we'll
There's
just
kills number 2, and he's
keep the
staying
other
on
ones.
Objective. There's a tick of progress, but if they're spawners
Yep,
to be
so right here,
black
chat,
shots, he's gonna
on attack, same thing. Is in your flow, you want to try and control this. This is essentially how you want to flow.
get him. 2-man stack for the moment, and they got plenty of map.
He spawns left, he's like, yeah, someone's in our base for
That's
sure.
huge. Second segment on its way out, and there's
Good
2-man
plays
capture
from Ant
towards
here.
A.
Very good plays.
Will Hoop be able to escape his spawn?
Oh my
Looks
god,
like
he's
also
running.
no.
He's running for his life.
Down. B now
Oh my
running.
god, he's so annoying.
20.
Look at him. Look at him.
To play with.
He's so annoying.
From spawn. Couple of good
3
kills.
people are looking for him.
Nice a Shotzi as well. Can they
Oh
stabilize
my
by
god,
the
this
big
is
guy?
so annoying, by the way.
I mean, Insight and Shotzi have been having a near standoff.
This was, you know what this reminds me of? I don't know if you guys watched Champs last year in the grand finals when Ant was on invasion control, just running round our spawn. Insane to me.
Battle, I mean, that lasted 30 seconds. Only 2 lives were expended by Optic to capture the A zone. Admittedly now, not getting his
So look at that, Mercules holding blue.
Mercules, undeniable. The talent he has gets one before
Nice.
he's traded.
Nice.
But as long as there's no spawn traps by Ultra
In
being
Palace,
set
yeah,
up, Optic
yeah.
are fine to take this.
That, Fabio, that was insane. He was like on fucking treehouse to top P4 or whatever it's called, P3 or P5, I can't remember. Top broken, and then DVD, tank, and he's just going like this, like a circle. When you play as someone like Shotzi, when he's doing that, do you see how annoying that is? He's dragging everyone away. It was good. What's good, P? I'm not gonna say the second one, but what's good, P?
Slow. I mean, slow as you like. Beans
How you doing, fella?
right now. Hoop. Whoa, bad timing, but a bullet.
But because of that though, right? Look at Ant. He drags 3 people away.
Good kills.
Look at him. He's dragging 3 people away for then a timing for 1 and 3 to get forward.
Can they
You know what I mean?
by the B zone?
And he's still distracting. I mean, Insight and Shotzi have been having a near standoff battle. I mean, that lasted.
Hey, good morning, P Father. P Father, how are you, Father? P Father 1920.
30 seconds.
You ain't catching me slipping. You ain't catching me slipping. It's 11:30.
Only 2
Father, you
lives
ain't
were
catching me
expended by
slipping.
Optic to capture the A zone. Admittedly now, not getting as
I'll
many
coach, I'll
kills,
streamer.
but Mercules,
So look, trying to play for blue.
undeniable. The talent he has gets one
Now they're
before
taking
he's
their
traded.
timings.
But as long as there's no spawn traps by Ultra being set up, Optic are fine to take
Lock
this
the
slow.
fuck in, chat.
Slow as you like. Beans from spawn fighting out. Hoop.
Oh, how's he not won that?
Taking care of clean X.
Right, same again. They're gonna get the close ammo spawn because there's no progression, and they'll just use mid to come across.
Trades once again as Dashi feasts on these call outs.
Nice. Now they're gonna just get across to mid.
Force there
He's
from
gonna
the
suffocate
Sam
them.
side, the old
Once they get
days
kills, they'll
zone.
stack. Spawning them deep here. Excellent.
Shotzi. Shotzi.
That's where protocol control and attack can be very one wave. If you get a clean wave and you have mid control, so look at Brandon here, they play through mid, and you spawn close, you're going to spawn close ammo here if they still back spawn, for example. Then you use that to get across and stack. But if it's not clean, look at what Ant's doing. When it's not clean, you take routes. Why do you want to take routes, chat, if you don't have a clean wave on protocol? Why do you want to take routes? What is the biggest thing? Chat, let's not get bogged down. Well, timings, yes. But why is it important in this situation here, chat?
These call outs
Fletch, okay, good con Fletch, I like that.
again
But
as
why
Dashi
here?
feasts
So they've got 3 kills.
on the
They have 3 kills, right? Let's think about it from a pro's perspective. So put yourself in their shoes. Right now, they've got 3 kills, but it's not clean. Why are they not just doing this? Why is Ant taking that route? Think about let's start thinking about it. To progress and put some pressure on the map. Good. Yes. 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 So, Fabio, good answer. P did, good answer. But Swaggy's right. Notice when the wave isn't clean, you don't have the timings to get to B without them reinforcing it. And you're looking for 1. Now, if the wave was clean, and it was a clean 3 or a clean 4, right, then you can stack towards point and drag the last guy out. But because the wave isn't clean, and the timing isn't there, you play to repinch, spawn them deep, you then progress towards time, spawning close. Fantastic. Yeah, good answer, PP. Good answer.
A force breathe there from the SAM site, the old A zone.
Look how far they have spawned out. Look how far they've spawned out. Now they can collapse on time. And now they're going to spawn ammo, or they should.
Sweet child of mine, he finds
There you go. Ammo. Boom. Refill through. You see? Really, really good, efficient COD from Shotzi right here.
Easy cleanup kills there from Shotzi. That's a force spree presence on the objective.
Refill. Yes. Yes. Refill, refill, refill. Good play from Joe.
Mercury's now going for a wrap of his own. Minute 20. Optic still with a life lead.
And Joe to see is going to make it to the movies. That was a nice 3-piece.
Does going through blue affect the spawns at all? What do you mean for defense?
14.
Oh, I mean people. Yes, it does. It does. If you're here on P4 like that corner, you'll spawn them deep. You'll spawn them deep. So that's why underground routes are really important, because you can also spawn them deep. So it's situational in the aspect of how clean is the 3 and where's the info on the 4. If it's a very staggered 3, then you want to set up the next wave. You want to play you want to set yourself up to get the next wave of kills, because you can't just force point. Right? Because if it's staggered, they'll have numbers on the point and you lose all map control, right? If it's a clean 3, then you can stack the point, because you're only looking for 1, and you have the timings of basically 3 players essentially who can't really help the time.
9 on lives. Ultra, it is going to be difficult to claw this one out, especially with this much time on the clock. Optic, they've kept their presence up.
Like I said, awkward situation to be in right now, but start to stack up. You might be able to get that zone a little quicker. Quick contest. Insight with the Strider. Goes for the hit and run. 13-8. Big kill out of Joe. Stops the cap.
Big kill from Joe.
This is all about the time.
Nice.
Shotzi waiting for the moment, seeing if anybody on Ultra is going to overcommit.
Appreciate you, Danny boy. Means a lot. Yes, I will be watch partying at 2 p.m. I'll be on YouTube though.
Phoenix trying to find the kills from upstairs.
Nice, very good.
Oh, the dance.
Very good. Now they can stack.
If all the bullet is needed,
very good.
Give it to you. A 2-man stack. Here comes the 3rd man.
And then look at Hugh playing mid. Very good.
Last 2 members of Ultra. No dive. No dice. No good.
Excellent.
2-0.
Who's a player you wished you coached? Are you saying like current? Scrap, Abizi, Simp, Dashi, Shotzi, yeah, Bianca. Past? Octane. Octane is someone who I looked up to as an AR player, and I wish I could even just learn from Octane.
13 kills in round number
Octane, you listen to Octane. You write down everything Octane says. Like, he is a fucking mastermind genius. And I looked up to him and I learned, like, I tried to emulate how he played as an AR. Wait, Fish just asked me. It was Fish same. Wait, Fish? Wait, Matthew Fisher? Wait, my fucking Fish? Oh my god, he's actually just gassed me, holy shit. Oh my god, that might mean the world. That's actually fucking everything to me. Holy shit. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of fucking mind blown at the moment. I fucking love fish. I overfish my career. Holy fuck. Anyway. Fuck, dude. W fish. W fucking fish in the chat. Back to my previous point. Like, I can't chat. I cannot speak to enough of how much I owe fish my career. Fish is the reason why, like, I'm even doing this shit in the first place. That guy is fucking incredible. But back to the previous back to the previous question is, yeah, I cherish him forever, you know. Octane is a player from the past who I wish I just had the chance to work with. There's a couple of players from the past who I wish to work with. Clayster, JCap, Octane, Damon, Apathy. They're the 5 players who I wish to have worked or work with from the past. Current players, Scrap, I wish to work with. I already worked with Krim. I worked with Krim. I already coached him, remember? He was really good very, very good to coach. I learned so much from him. I can't speak so highly of Krim. That guy is a winner through and through. He is the definition of winning, that guy. I learned so much from him. Fucking amazing player. Current game that I haven't, Simp, Abizi, Scrap, Draws, Cell, FaZe. Kenny, I would love to. Nero, I'd love to. Some of the guys on there's just everyone from every team who I'd love to. But yeah, let's keep this playing.
The duo Shotzi picked up 12 in round number 2. Joe Deceives had a great moment, but ultimately, Optic right now, they're just skill diffing them.
Good question. I think I could. I genuinely believe I can make an impact on any team. But to your point, you don't want to have too many people in the kitchen. If you have too many cooks in the kitchen, it can confuse things. But as long as you don't have like 4 or 5 people, you should be fine. I think I could be very valuable to any team with the amount I work, how hard I work. I study the game all the time. Creating culture, high performance, excellence, all that sort of stuff. So I love Troy. I love Troy. I loved working with Troy. Me and him, we found like our perfect balance from like a coaching duo perspective. I knew everything about him, he knew everything about me, and we were one mind. We would do everything together, everything. And yeah, I can't speak so highly about Troy. Troy's a fucking fantastic person, fantastic coach. Yeah, that's one thing. Work ethic is a big thing for me.
This has not been.
But yeah, to answer your question, I genuinely do believe I could bring value, but I think I could bring value anywhere personally.
I think the last time I saw a team have this kind of turn was actually back in.
Some might say hive mind.
Major 4, dead last, and went on to win champs. And so far, it's looking pretty good indeed.
All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in, brothers. Let's lock in, guys.
Trying to remove hope from this team. Take the next scalp and make it to the final winners round. Take care of Boston.
Let's get some lock-ins in the chat.
Wall, full speed ahead. Ultra though off the break. Hey, CleanX is
nice.
Able to get
so right
2,
here, one of them should be bumping.
They're looking for
Can't wait for the body shots.
Even after he jumps
Beans
over
is route. Wait, what ride did Beans take?
On the A zone. Ahead. Ultra though off the break. Hey, CleanX.
So like right here.
You get the pressure.
So like right here, I'm really surprised after they made like 2 kills. They're not playing to bump in here, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, Toby or even Ben in this situation, based on the flow, you're either bumping long or bumping into grandmas, spawn them here, forcing them to go round. This right here just felt like there was... This right here was a play where you start overthinking everything like a deer in the headlights. That's what it felt like to me.
They're looking for the slow battle back.
Even after he jumps over Hook's head, he manages to find a little bit of love. Now CleanX roaming.
No, I don't think so. I think the team stays the same.
Kills from his teammates around him, giving him something to play with here. Mercury's on the cross, takes care of the weak man. Halfway through A.
They got 2 bodies on it. That trophy, putting in overtime work.
Hey.
Nice slides, nice collection. That's 3 in the B, that's all 4. You get a 4-man down, you stick it real quick, and now you swing slowly over towards the B side, but they're taking it nice and
I think the visa issue fucked up the mojo so much, never recovered after that.
slow, keep it secure.
Feel like CleanX needs to try phase or something? That'd be insane, Sleazy. Imagine that.
He's trying to either stop the cap,
I don't think Simp and BZ ever split, but imagine like Toby and like, I don't know. I don't know who, but Toby Paco maybe, I don't know.
The high road into the zone. The capture now begins.
Hypothetically, if Ultra win champs, do you think they make a change if better options are possible? That's up to them. You don't know. They'd certainly evaluate it. We made the change, right, after winning champs. We pack punched. I think if a generational player becomes available and they don't make a change, then I think you have to question yourself. I think just because you win in 1 year doesn't mean the competition's going to stay the same. Every year it gets higher and higher and higher, so you always have to look at it with fresh eyes and think, okay, is this the best team we can make? If it's the best team they can make with what's available, then yes, stick together. If it's no, and it's not convincing, then you make the change.
Can they spot these Optic players out? Yeah, eyes on at least Shotzi. He gets away.
Why did Ultra go blue here?
On the clock.
We got a moment here from
Yeah, they should be.
Secure.
In my opinion, based on what we have just seen, right, chat, they don't have the ability to get across. They should be going round, playing round, taking their time, like literally playing slow for picks, to then spawn them back here. In my opinion, I get what they're trying to do is that they're assuming, okay, maybe they have like 3 people here, 1 person here, let's ape them, but you don't want to take that risk. Good teams aren't going to do that.
3-life lead with 2 minutes on the clock.
We got a moment here from Hook. He's trying to either stop the cap, but it's not going to happen, and kill those players across on the exit. Joe takes the high road into the zone. The capture now begins. Can they spot these Optic players out? Yeah, eyes on at least Shotzi. He gets away, and he makes Beans pay.
Body shots.
The capture continues. Life advantage Ultra.
Even then, chat, right? When you're in this position, underground is so important. Like, forget they're on B and 5. I'm just saying from a general flow perspective. Underground is important because even if you play here, you spawn them deep. You can climb up, repinch, do whatever you want. You're in a hybrid spot where you force them out mid.
They spot these Optic players out. Yeah, eyes on at least Shotzi. He gets away, and he makes Beans pay.
Yeah, similar to Sib. Yes, spot on. Absolutely.
And I think Shotzi did not enjoy being ego child with a pistol in that moment, give him a little bit extra. The life lead, well, diminished, only down to 2. Joe deceives, trying to do everything he can on the objective. He has 0 help.
He's trying. Can't get it done alone. Hoop there from upstairs, going to get away. Lots of information. Pasto out here. Can Insight catch anyone from this position? Hey,
wow, good shot from Jamie.
Ideal. As Joe takes care of the 3rd man.
So now get map control, get mid here.
Now close to the Optic boys.
And they just got a 3 down.
Just look how just look how disjointed this looks in this situation. You can tell just by the way Ultra are playing, the pressure is on, chat. Look at Joe activating before his teammates are even in the play. Joe could literally get underground and stay alive. He could play P4, stay alive, wait for his teammates. Right here was like a desperation kind of play.
Presence over towards P1. They're not actually able to make the moves and soar and capitalize on those kills.
Then when you play desperate, you then lose all map control anyway, and you're back to square one.
Forced to take it
so it's very important he just played his life. So look at what Jamie's doing, is what Joe should have done initially, and then no. I think it's genuine desperation right here.
Still forced to take it slow.
Like being flustered.
2 dead, still might not matter. Dashy's alive. Take care of
that. CleanX should have not child mid when he was on B. It was 8 versus 5.
Problem, you're laughing. Here we go.
Are you saying on the previous round?
Dashy's alive. Take care of that problem, you're laughing. Here we go, CleanX. Eyes on the players on the stairs. You get a 10 for the pirouette, but you've got to get the next kills. That's the game plan.
This is just so impossible now.
Capture, but no one watching the back door.
In this round? Okay, let's see.
From Ultra. Inside, nice moves. The next man is going to be a big win. Not going to happen.
Okay. So this is good here. Taking time to go around. Good, Ben. Look at 7 where you spawn.
There's 2 players down there. Shotzi's been ratting it up in their spawn, and he might just be spawn killing inside. In Ultra right now, it's an open field, but because Shotzi's behind you, there is just not a single moment where they can be comfortable.
What a life from Beams. This has been 3 big kills from down low. 6 to 10. Presence on the stairwell. Hook.
Okay, they trade. Right, just stack this.
Against the trade. 5
Stack
to
this,
8.
no?
3 big kills from down low. 6 to 10. Presence on the stairwell. Hook. What a win. Insight gets the trade. 5 to 8. 3 big kills from down low. 6 to 10.
They can be comfortable.
I'm just thinking
What a
here, 2 down.
From Beams, this has been 3 big kills.
You know the third one's here.
Down low. 6 to 10. Presence on the stairwell. Hook. What?
Oh, yeah. Dude. They win this. If Huke is dead, Joey's alive, 8 is on time. They double stack this. Jamie's mid. They're going to spawn a bit out because he's taking a route. They win this if Kyler doesn't get a 2-piece. Ah.
Insight gets the trade.
Because then he spawns deep because he's like, yo, they're going to be mid.
5 to 8.
That's got to be it on the TDM front.
Now we just got to play
Nearby the
TDM here.
point.
Now just take your time.
Routes. Dashy's going for the full pinch, and they spread across the middle of the map.
Good.
Kleenex. No lives left now for Optic. Big signs of life. Second segment in the back.
Ah, okay, yes. Oh, yeah.
Signs of life. Second segment.
I know Toby thinks he should have won this,
No lives left now for Optic.
but I'd rather you play safe. And the reason why I'd rather you play safe is this guy has you. You can help P1. Watch this. He has mid. Oh, man. Fuck, dude. Damn. It's just, I don't agree with Toby doing that, even if he kills him. Because it's so risky.
Segment in the bag. You lose the man there upstairs.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was desperation.
Beans now. Finding kills all over the place. Ultra finally. Some signs of life. Wait a minute. Kleenex now on the coverage. Can we take care
So just ape
of
together
Luke
here,
on time?
right?
25 seconds. You
Yeah, exactly. So that's where you let the game come to you here,
have to find
chat.
the kills.
This duo,
Fuck.
Hook and Shotzi, have been thriving on this map in opportunity to dagger Toronto.
You have to find the kills. Someone has to get on.
Oh
zone.
my god, such a heads-up play. And he stays alive? But why are they not on point, though?
Someone
Oh,
has
yeah,
On
because
this
1.
map
Look at
in
1.
opportunity.
You have to find the kills.
Ah!
This duo,
Optic. I think Optic are going to win.
Hook and
Lyra.
Shotzi, have been thriving on this map in opportunity to dagger Toronto.
Can we take care of Hook on time?
So right here, play for middle. You got 20 seconds. Play for mid.
Find the kills.
This
I think
duo,
you play
Hook
for middle here.
and Shotzi have been thriving on this map in opportunity to dagger Toronto.
You have to find the kills. Someone has to get on zone. Another kill. 2 to 3. 10 seconds.
There's just no trades. There's just no trades.
The clock has stopped.
God damn.
Kleenex on the capture. Hook and Shotzi now from upstairs. Find the kill. Inside. 1v1.